Hey, Jenny. Good to see you. Sorry, I hate it when I do that. I was talking about I left to go get my Chipotle today, like just recently, and it's a blizzard outside. It's like 6 inches of snow, and I was like, "Holy cow! I can't believe there's so much snow." But I was like, "Oh, at least it's cool. Chipotle won't be busy because I actually like driving in the snow because I have true four-wheel drive, and also I got these really nice tires on there. So I was like, cool. I can go anywhere in the snow." The dogs, they got their Chipotle too. They literally ate dog food the last 2 days in a row. I haven't not fed them a good dinner in months. I mean, they were probably, it's kind of like cruel to them, actually, if I figure like if they get the good food every single night and then all of a sudden they don't. Hope they don't think it's like a punishment. I've just been so busy. I've been editing hard last couple days. I got to really start taking this seriously now. I mean, I was taking it seriously, but really trying hard here. So, anyways, not much in the chat here. I love Chipotle though. So good. It's so good for you too. They have this program called Food with Integrity, and all their stuff's natural. It's not GMO, hormones. And you ever notice when like they'll run out of something and they'll put a sign up that says, "We're out of pork because it our vendors weren't up to our standards," or something like that. I've seen them do that before. It's because whoever they were getting their pork from weren't holding their end of the bargain or something. The animal was not in a good environment. Like that's their thing too. It's food with integrity. So all the animals that they use for their food live like a good life. It's just a better life, anyways. They're not, they have an area to run around and like they're not tortured and all that kind of stuff. It's humane at least. But their food and it's healthy too. It's really healthy for you. This is like muscle building food right here. Brown rice, guacamole, beans, and chicken and steak. Guacamole is good for it. It's good energy too. So cool. So I guess I'll just keep eating because no one's saying nothing. I don't know what you want me to say. There's 4 people in here. Let's see. One time, speaking of guacamole, guacamole on my Chipotle. One time when I first met Sweet Tea, she came over Actually, no, it was like literally, was it the first time she was over here? It was like one of the first times at least. Yo, what up? Yo, got In-N-Out in Denver? Yeah, we do actually. Not very many, but they just brought them here recently, bro. What up, Craig? Cheating is cheating. Okay, we're gonna get to that in just a second. Gonna finish my guacamole story. So I think it was like the first or second time she was here. We were cooking some food and I was like starving. And I had this guacamole that I made and it was like, it was old, dude. I think it was, I want to say it was a week, but it might have been like even close to 2 weeks old. And it was kind of brown and she was like, oh, well, you can't eat that. And I was like, no, it's fine. Cause then I mixed it up and it was green. Cause the brown part is only because it gets oxygen on it and that makes it turn brown and you mix it up. It's fine. I was like, no, it's fine. Look. And she's like, oh, I don't think so. You shouldn't eat that. I was like, no, fine. It's weird because her and I are different. Like she won't eat certain things. It's old or whatever, but she'll also eat stuff that is old that I won't eat. Right. Like milk. Dude, she once had this milk, dude, because it's not supposed to really expire, on the actual date. It's supposed to go extra, but not that much extra. I was like, I won't drink that, dude. And it smelled so sour. And she's like, oh, yeah, this is totally fine. Yeah. And I was like, dude, that is freaking sour. There's no way I'm drinking that milk. But then, like the guacamole thing, no. But, anyways, I ate it. And then we ate whatever food that we ate. And then, oh, it was the stir fry. She cooked a stir fry. And so she felt bad because she thought she cooked stir fry at my house. And she thought that maybe I got her sick or she got me sick. But it wasn't that. It was that freaking guacamole she told me not to eat. And I was sick for 2 days straight. First time I ever had food poisoning. 2 days straight. And I slept the whole next day. I threw up. And then the whole next day, actually, I didn't throw up yet. But the next day I like slept. My stomach hurt and I slept all day. And she was just out here, dude. She like organized my pantry and stuff. It was crazy, dude. And then I came out like, oh, you're organizing my pantry? And she's like, yeah, I just was bored or something. And I was like, thank you. And I just went back to bed. And then I came back out and she's like, I don't really know what to do. Do you want me to stay or should I go? And I was like, no, stay. She's like, you want me to stay? And I was like, yeah, stay. Sorry, I'm sick. And she's like, okay, I'll stay. And I went back to bed. Literally the whole day I just slept. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and I was so sick that I knew I had to throw up. I couldn't even sleep because I was so nauseous. But I couldn't throw up. But I needed to make myself throw up. So I was like, what am I going to do? She was out here sleeping on the couch, on this couch, and I was in the bedroom. I was like, what am I going to do? And so I was like, I know what I can do to make myself throw up. I had some vodka in here. I went and took a swig of vodka and I gargled it. I was like, what? I was like, that'll definitely make me throw up. And I just threw up all over the place. And I woke her up in the middle of the night and she's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, I just threw up. She's like, oh my God. And yeah, so that was my guacamole story, dude. But no, like, we'll get into a little bit, maybe that for part of, maybe the part of that story will be a little bit about this show. So Jenny says cheating is cheating. So having an emotional affair is cheating. That's one vote for Jenny here. So there's 5 people in here. If anyone else wants to throw your opinion in here on if an emotional affair is cheating, love to hear it. Keep the conversation going. So we're not talking about food poisoning from some stupid guacamole I ate. I was like, dude, I mean, sometimes I just need to trust what she, thinks and says. Oh, man. Not doing so great in here. Okay, some people don't like to participate. It's okay, though. I mean, he's licking me in crazy. So I guess I'll just kind of go through my stuff that I had then. So The signs that you're in an emotional affair. You put more effort into your appearance for them. You lie to your spouse about talking to them. You're spending more time with them than your spouse. You're texting them while trying to keep it a secret from your spouse. So if you have text messages that you don't want your spouse to see from this person, that's an emotional affair. You laugh more with them than your spouse. That's another one. And there's more. You find yourself thinking about this person a lot. You find yourself having sexually fulfilling fantasies about them. You find yourself fantasizing about what it would be like to be with them. You feel a sense of grief or loss when you think you might never be with them. When you mentally compare the fantasy with your current partner falls short. That's that one. And then I had one more list here. This one, I think. Yeah. They feel the need to hide their friendship from you, whether it's outright lying or simply not telling you. There is a need to hide when they meet their friend or delete conversations with them off their phone. So if you ever delete a conversation off of your phone, you might not even realize it's an emotional affair. You know what I mean? But if you're deleting a message off of your phone, because if they see it, they wouldn't like it, that's an emotional affair. Flirting, they flirt with their friend, either digitally or in person. They brush it off as harmless flirting because they're just friends, right? Think about them a lot. They tend to always have their friend on their mind. They start dressing differently, taking up new hobbies, routines. And another one too is if they, because there's only so much time in the day, right? And, like people say, oh, I don't have time to work out. I don't, because nobody has time. I mean, do you think these guys that are super buff, and ripped, do you think that they have just all this extra time laying around? Right? No one has time. Everyone's busy, but you make time for things that are important to you. So like if someone says, oh, I couldn't text you, for 8 hours or whatever they say, or for the whole day till the next day. Like if they say that, because I was busy, that's what they say. No, it's just that you're not a priority to them. That's bullshit. Because it takes, 10 seconds, 20 seconds to write a text, something. Oh, hey, hi, how you doing today? Or something, anything. So it's just it's a priority list. You're not on their priority list. That's what it is. So, there's only so much time that you have to go around. So if you prioritize this other person more than your actual partner, that's an emotional affair right there. So that's my opinion on it. So, or it's not my opinion. It's just, those are just signs that you could be in an emotional affair. So I guess for is it cheating? You know what I mean? There's men and women cheat differently. You know what I mean? So men cheat physically and women cheat emotionally. So it's more cheating for women, I think. It's still cheating for men, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that men and women do cheat differently. So if a woman cheats, a guy will ask his partner, did you have sex with him? Right? That's what he's going to ask. But if a man cheats, she's going to ask her partner, do you love her? Right? You see the difference? Because men cheat physically. So that's why I say that, women, they're literally designed by nature um, to just have one partner because they create these soul ties. It's called, it's a pair bonding hormone called oxytocin that they release when they have sex with someone. So it ties you to that person. So that's the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, put that into our biology. Therefore, women won't sleep around because it ensures the survival of the species. If the woman stays with one man, right, it ensures the survival of the species. Men don't release as much oxytocin. That's why men are designed biologically, not today, because we have 8 billion people. I'm talking about in tribal times, again, when it was very scarce and we're on the brink of extinction. It's advantageous for the men to spread their seed far and wide. So that's why we release less oxytocin. So it's to ensure the survival of the species. So men can have sex with another woman and not be emotionally involved at all or near as much, right? So that's how men cheat. But women cheat emotionally, right? So, if a woman is talking to some other guy, like say some guy's hitting her up via Messenger on Facebook Messenger or something like that, right? Or it could be Instagram or I don't know, all the messaging apps, emails, anything. And she's talking to him. Here's the thing is that, especially if you're a beautiful woman, right? And women, all women in here, and even if you're, you're mediocre looking, whatever, like women get hit on, like women have their DMs full of guys. Hey, what's up, beautiful? All that stuff, right? So if a woman is deciding, hey, I'm going to talk to this guy, that means she had to turn down like 30 other dudes to talk to this guy, right? Like guys are more scavengers. Like we'll take what we can get. You know what I mean? We kind of throw a bunch of lines out there. We're fishing. You got 3 fishing poles out here, and whatever it bites, then that's what we take, right? But a woman, if she chooses this guy, well, that means she already has some kind of emotional attachment to this guy because she had to turn down all these other fools, right? So that's the difference. Is that women cheat emotionally. So, if you have an emotional connection with some guy, or maybe even a guy too, with a girl, you know what I mean? I think it's cheating for sure. It's especially cheating for the woman, like I said, because of the reasons that I just told you. But in today's society, I mean, it's cheating still, in my opinion. Some people might say it's nothing or whatever, but just think about it. Like, if your partner was, if you have somebody that you're, texting, and if you have to delete messages on your phone, or can you be transparent? Like, you can just be completely open and, everything. If not, if they wouldn't like it, it's probably not right. Not 100% of the time. Maybe you got a psycho girlfriend or something. But it's probably an emotional affair. You know what I mean? And just think about, what if your girlfriend had that same thing, or boyfriend, whatever, the same thing? Like, would you like that? You know what I mean? Like, for me, if there's another man that's like, if she's feeling like these feelings of, I'm kind of Twitter pated, and like I like him and I'm flirting with him, and start thinking like, well, maybe what would it be like to be with him, and like trying to like put yourself in a situation where you can be closer to him. You know what I mean? Like, being flirtatious like women are. Like, if my girlfriend was doing that, I wouldn't like that. You know what I mean? So that's how I know if I was doing that to someone else, same type of situation, it's cheating, dude. You just got to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, how would you feel if your partner was doing that? You know what I mean? So, there's lots of reasons that it could happen too. Some people like use an excuse. Oh, well, we're not getting along or something. So we're not getting along. So then, just one thing leads to another type thing. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then just leave your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever, just leave them. But if you're trying to work on stuff, that's stupid. Because, that doesn't really bring any trust, right? So, I mean, if your person has to be worried that every time you get into an argument, oh, great, you know, now they're going to be entertaining this person or that person, or maybe they're going to be more susceptible to flirting now. Like, that's not something you want. You're already fighting. You're already got into a fight. Now you're stressed about the fight. Last thing you want to think is, oh, great, now they're going to cheat on me. Right? Just because we got into a fight. You know what I mean? So either you're in it or you're not. So what's up, King Chow Chow, if you're still in here? So Chad is very not talkative today. It's like hearing me talk, I guess. Cool, you're still here, man. How you doing, bro? What's good with you, man? What's new? Anything? And another thing too is that you never want to be anyone's second choice. You know what I mean? So that's a hard one too. Like, if you found out your partner was having an emotional affair, could you get over it? I mean, probably. I mean, I would think so. It depends on how much you love them. I think you probably could. But knowing that, like, what if they would have just left you? Like, what if, like, I don't know, there could be lots of circumstances. Maybe it didn't work out or something like that. And then, what if they would have just left you, but it didn't work out with them? So now you're their second choice. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, man. Like, if you're going to be in a relationship, just be in it. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. Just doing some laundry. Come on, dude. You over there with like the washboard thing, like, or are you just throwing it in the machine? Right? It's like women, like housewife women. Oh, I do laundry all day. What do you mean laundry, dude? You throw it in a machine, it does it for you. This ain't like, like the old days. Just kidding. Being a housewife, actually, I said in my last show, it's a definite, it is a full-time job. If you're a good housewife, like if you're a sucky housewife, then it is a slacker job. But if you like actually keep the house clean and, all that stuff, I mean, I could sit here and clean the house every day. And there's always something I could be doing here cleaning wise. So, I mean, every day you could spend a few hours cleaning the whole house. You know what I mean? Especially if you got a big house. Do this, dust this one day, and then dust this the next day, and then vacuum the next day, and then clean the kitchen floor the next day, and then clean this bathroom the next day. Like every single day you could do some kind of cleaning if you're a good housewife. So being a good housewife is not just like a slacker job. Let's see. But, let's say somebody's having an emotional affair, right? For me personally, like if somebody were to actually have sex with some other dude, that would be like unrepairable. I'd be devastated. Even though that women, I said that emotional affair affects me because I know that women, that's how they cheat, is through emotional type stuff. Because again, they had to turn down all these other guys to talk to this guy. It's still the majority of it's the sexual part for me too, but that is hard to get over. But like the emotional part, even though that would be hard, I think I could still probably, if I loved her enough, I could still get over it, and I could still deal with that at least. But if that were to happen to me, I think I would want the woman to tell me about it. You know what I mean? Because if I found out later and she didn't tell me, that'd be worse, right? Because then I couldn't trust her. But even if she didn't tell me and I never found out, I mean, I still would want to know. You know what I mean? And if your partner tells you about this emotional affair that they're having, if you have a good partner, that's an opportunity for growth. Remember, guys, from my spiritual channel, all the growth happens through the bad times. It doesn't happen through the good times. So life is a lesson. And it's up to you to determine what that lesson is. So if your partner tells you about, oh, I'm having an emotional affair, that could be an opportunity for you to trust that person now, because they told me. They didn't even have to tell me. You know what I mean? But they did, because they're being honest. So if your partner is going to tell you something like that, maybe they'll be honest about anything, right? And not only that, it gives the opportunity for your partner to trust you, because you're going to be able to handle that eloquently and move on. It's gonna solidify more trust in the relationship, because now think about, okay, man, that was a big deal, but you know what? I told my partner that, and they were disappointed, but we got through it and we're good. So now I know that I can trust my partner. You know what I mean? So remember, having the ability to emote is an appropriate, it's a very important thing. The ability to emote is the ability to express your emotions appropriately. So if your girlfriend or your boyfriend tells you, hey, you know what, I'm having this emotional affair, and you freak the fuck out and you start throwing stuff and that's it, bitch, you're a whore and all that stuff, dude, that's not an appropriate way to respond, right? It's not. I mean, yes, you can be frustrated, you can be upset, and you can have your feelings hurt, and you can be angry, you can be all those things, but like, you can't act like that, right? That's being able to calibrate your emotions properly, or express your emotions properly. But it goes both ways too. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be walking down the street and like some guy come up and just slap your girlfriend on the ass and be like, oh yeah, it's cool, dude. I mean, like then now you got to get mad, right? So it goes both ways. It's something that women actually use to gauge how much they're going to be attracted to you. It's subconscious. They don't know they're doing it, but if you don't have an ability to emote, they're going to be less attracted to you. And it goes both ways too, for men too. Like, if a woman is too emotional and she just freaks the heck out over anything, and you can't tell her anything because you're walking on eggshells, it's like, oh, I can't even tell her about this because it's going to be a gigantic nightmare fight, and then it's not worth it. You know what I mean? That means that they rule over you. Remember, like I said, if you want to know who rules over you, find out who you are not allowed to criticize, right? It could be the same thing in a relationship. So it gives that trust, you know what I mean? It's an opportunity for growth. If you have two people that are emotionally intelligent and that are mature, you could look at that as an opportunity to grow, because your soul doesn't make mistakes, right? Your soul knows what it's doing. Your higher self, it knows what it's doing down to every last detail. So it's there for a reason. If that just happens to be in your life, it's there for a reason. It's a test. Like this whole, like, again, Earth is a school. It's a school. That's all it is. Everything is like a test. And that's all that would be. How are you going to respond to this? Are you going to learn the lesson that you should learn from this? Or are you going to catastrophize it and do a big, gigantic deal? Now, for me, if my girlfriend actually had sex with some dude, that would be a catastrophizing. I'm not learning a lesson. I mean, you still should, because you're supposed to, but that's like to the extreme. And I can understand, not being able to do that, because I mean, that's crazy, dude. That's terrible. And I'm not going to sit here and say like, I've never cheated, because I have, but now, like, they say hindsight's 2020. I feel bad about it. It's not cool to do to people. You just always got to look at, like, what if they did that to me? You know what I mean? It's just not cool. Let's see. Nowadays, being a good housewife is letting the maid in. If you got it like that, bro, you know what I mean? Like, if you got it like that, or you're hiring a maid and all that shit, I mean, that's cool. Women tend to act guilty. Yeah, you know what else women tend to do is they tend to project. Like if they're doing something, say they are talking to some dude on Facebook Messenger or whatever, right? Like they'll accuse you of doing that. Like out of the blue or something, like, like, oh, I know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you even talking about? I'm not doing that. That's because they're doing it. And so now they feel guilty. So then now they think you're doing it. That's how they act when they act guilty. So you don't ask. They act guilty, so you don't ask. Yeah. I'd rather know. There's a time when to split, you know what I mean? There's a time you have to set a healthy boundary, and if stuff gets so bad, especially for the men, if she's doing stuff to you that's really bad and you just accept it, you're just making it worse by staying, because she's not going to respect you. You're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the dominant one. If she's straight up disrespecting you like crazy, and you just allow it to happen, and you don't know how to leave the relationship, if you stay, yeah, maybe she'll still be with you, but like her respect is going down and down and down the longer you stay and put up with her bullshit. And then as soon as she finds some man that's like a dominant alpha that ain't gonna put up with her bullshit, but he likes her, she's gonna leave your ass for him. All right. Yo, Wasi, what's up, dog? I saw that you dropped a video today, bro, but I didn't watch it yet. I was gonna watch it though. Then I know I can't trust them and they are gone. Everything's a life, it's like a lesson too. You got to learn, because there might be, just for myself, there might be a time in my life where I was not trustworthy, and maybe somebody should have just straight up left me, right? But I'm better now. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to use your discernment. If it's not something so bad, like, oh, they gave their boss a blowy on your couch or something, right? Like, that's bad, dude. Okay, all right, forget that. You know what I mean? But let's say that it was, I don't know, an emotional affair or something. I don't know. You couldn't trust them or something. Or let me say they even lied about it. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. That's kind of my thing. I always look for the best in people, and I always give people the benefit of the doubt. But I know that people can change, because I know I've changed. I know that I'm a completely, and you guys all are too. I'm a completely different person today than I was 10 years ago. Completely. Like every 10 years, about every 7 years, you completely change. So 7 years ago, think about where you were in your life. Did you have the same mindset? Did you have the same temperament? Did you have the same level of matureness? Were you as responsible? Were you as wise? I mean, just think about all the things, like how you would have responded, all these stuff that's happening to you today. Think about 7 years ago, how would you have responded to that, right? And just think about everything, your demeanor. Everything's different. Everyone changes all the time. So I know that people can change, and they do change no matter what. Change happens automatic. Change just happens. But progress is different than change, right? Things have to change. You get a new job, you get a new girlfriend, you move, you don't live in the same place. Things change. But change is not the same as progress. So being able to put all of the lessons that you've learned through life into effect, that creates the progress, right? But if you just go through something and, oh, this is just a terrible thing that happened, and poor me, and life sucks and everything's against me, you don't learn anything from it, then you can't progress. Because remember, all the growth happens during the hard times. So why is this happening to me? And don't even think, why is this happening to me? A good mindset to have is, it's not why is this happening to me? Or rather, you should think of it as, don't think of something as, oh, this is happening to me, and think this is happening for me, right? It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Everything is in the mind. It's all what you make of it. You know what I mean? And I know something could be hard, dude. Like your girlfriend cheats on you, bro. Like not just emotional affair. Like, you know, I said, like she boned her boss in your fucking bed, dude, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's bad. But even in those situations, you got to think, why is this happening for me? Not why is this happening to me? Why is this happening for me? What do I need to learn from this? Right? And like everything that happens, like even like in the spiritual community, I'm starting to realize now that, you know, people say like, oh, you know, you create your own destiny and you manifest everything. If you believe in the law of attraction and stuff like that, and your ability to manifest, I'm starting to really awaken to that. And even in the spiritual community, if you're, you know, reading tarot card readings and or watching those videos on YouTube, and they keep saying, oh, this person's toxic for you, and oh, it's not good, or, you know, and it doesn't have to be relationships. I mean, a lot of tarot card readings are from friendships or from family members. Like I watch tarot card readings for all kinds of stuff, aspects of my life. But even if they're saying that and it's resonating with you, it's only resonating with you because you believe it to be true, right? As soon as you get to the point where you're like, no, fuck that. I create my own destiny. I'm going to do it this way. And you start thinking about your friend or your girlfriend or your cousin or whatever it is that is toxic in your life. And you start saying, I am going to literally create my own reality. I'm going to manifest it. You start thinking about that person in a different way. Because if you think about this person in a toxic way, like attracts like, according to the law of attraction, the universe has no choice but to make that person show up in your life that way, right? Oh, you think this person's toxic as hell? Okay, your wish is my command. Here's some more evidence to support that, right? That's how the law of attraction works. That is a immutable law of the universe, right? Again, this is not magic. This is science. Magic is just science undiscovered. So again, even for the spiritual community, like you listen to a tarot card reading, that's just like the energy that if everything goes according to the way it is right now, same energy, that's what will happen. But you can change it. You create your own reality. The only reason this is saying, oh, this person's toxic in your life, these tarot cards, oh, you got the death card here and all this stuff, right? It's because that's what you think. So that's the energy that's showing up because you think that. And so you're like, oh, of course I resonate with that. Yeah, dude. That person is toxic as hell. You know what I mean? But as soon as you say, no, dude, I create my own reality and I manifest it, I'm going to say, no, this person is not, this person is going to be, because that's not how the law of attraction works. This person is in the present tense. It already happened and it currently is. This person is the best, my best friend. This person, blah, 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 whatever. You start thinking this way. You start thinking of this person every single day. And then it turns into like an actual belief. Because you think about it a lot and it kind of seems weird, right? To think about like somebody that you think's toxic and like this great, amazing person, right? But you keep doing it day after day. And then eventually it starts becoming more normal and natural, right? And then it becomes like you start believing it. You're like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then it starts happening, right? So you create your entire reality. I don't care what it is. I'm starting to realize that. I just had an epiphany today about that. About like all this stuff, signs that I have, that this is this way, but then finally you get to the point where you're like, you want something so bad, you're like, no, I'm gonna do it this way. I don't care what the universe says. I don't care. what all the signs are, what this person says. This is the way it's going to be. You get that mad and you just do it. That's when you start, and then you start seeing results. You're like, this person's going to show up in my life in this way. Or they are, not they are going to, they are in my life in this way. That's how law of attraction works. They are this way. It starts happening eventually. And it's just confirmation that you literally create your entire reality, dude. It's crazy, man. So anyways, hey, what up, man? Love counseling with DMA is in session. I know, dude. You know what? I was thinking, like, this channel, it just happens to be kind of like that. Because, we talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. It's just, this is kind of like no rules. It's just whatever I like. And, we talk about auditing stuff and we talk about a lot of relationship stuff. But I really love, one of my most interesting topics is social dynamics. I love the way people respond to things, right? And react to certain situations. And I've been into that for well over a decade. I've been studying social dynamics. So I've always been into this. So now that I have this little channel, it's cool to be able to implement that on here and kind of, talk about it and teach what I know. But a lot of that social dynamic stuff coincides with relationships. You know what I mean? It just does, because that's what relationships are, how people respond to things. It is social dynamics. So it kind of just seems like I'm always trying to be a love counselor or something. But you know how it is. Women give themselves away when they are cheating. Yeah. So when you have sex with someone, and again, like, I'm not actually a Christian, but the Bible has a lot of good stuff in it that's true. And there's certain stuff I believe in it. And it says that when you have sex with somebody, you are one with that person. I believe that. What do you mean they give themselves away, though? You mean when they're cheating, you can tell? That's what you mean? You can tell when they're cheating, right? If they're not good liars or something. I mean, if you have an intuition, I have a really good intuition, especially right now, because like I said, I'm going through my second spiritual awakening. My intuition is fucking on fire, dude. Nobody can lie to me. So if I say something to someone and because my intuition is telling me, I can just read. Because if you tell somebody something and there's no way that they could possibly know that, you just look at their face and like see how they respond. Because like if it was totally like out, not even close to true, they'd be like, oh, what? No. What are you talking about? But like, if it's like, how could you possibly know that? Right? They'd be like, oh shit, how do you know that? Okay. I don't know. Right? You think about it. So, and not just with women, like anyone that's lying to me, or, I can just tell, I can feel it right now. And I hope that this doesn't go away, because I'm on some kind of new level right now. I'm noticing with the spiritual awakening that I'm having, there's more than just my intuition that's going crazy. It's like my confidence level is going up. And I've always been kind of socially awkward and shy, and you wouldn't be able to tell, because when I'm doing my audits and stuff, I'm really in my element. And I've really grown out of my awkwardness quite a while ago. So, it's been at least 15 years, 20 years, since I've been pretty, confident socially. I can talk to people and stuff. But now I'm really noticing that it's, because sometimes I can fake it till I make it too, though. You know what I mean? And I am kind of awkward, but you can't really tell, but I'm feeling it inside now. All of a sudden, with no explanation, I'm not like that anymore. I'm just very confident. It's weird. I just noticed that today, actually. I'm like, hold on a second. Like, things are different for me now. So, anyways, what's up? What's good with you, bro? Nick Johnson in the house. What up, dog? Oh, man, I got your email. I didn't even check it yet, though. I was so busy, but I saw it came through. We forgot to do our show on Tuesday, dude. I realized, I was like, what is it? It was yesterday. I was like, dude, it's already Tuesday, because like the day just went by. We got to do our show. I don't even know what your email says, so I'm going to check it. The perception of reality is subjective. Placebos work for some. It absolutely is subjective. I've always thought that. Like the people that hate audits and stuff like that, and they say, "Oh, you're just an antagonizer and all that." In their reality, that's true. I'm just a fucking antagonizer, dude. I'm just there to like fuck with people and shit, so I can get clicks and views and all that shit they say. That's a reality for them. It's just not reality for me. But I truly believe that. I mean, they believe these trolls, dude. They truly believe this to be true. There's no way, like these city officials and stuff, the way they treat people and stuff like that, like they wouldn't do that just unless they truly believed in it. Just like I wouldn't go and record cops and do audits and stand my ground and get, locked in a cage if I didn't truly believe something. In the same way, for them to treat us the way they do, they truly believe that you're just a fucking piece of shit, bro. As much as you think this cop's a piece of shit, that's what he thinks about you. It's his reality. That's reality for him. It's subjective. Just like what says, it's subjective. I truly believe that, bro. Hi, Candace. Social dynamics is why auditing videos are so fascinating to watch. Yes, that's true, bro. It is. Just to see how people respond to things, man. It's crazy. Because, well, like, it's not a big deal to us. You know what I mean? Like, we're just taking a picture, dude. Like, we're just recording. And I can understand certain things, though. You know what I mean? Like, when people do that antagonizing shit that people say that I do, that I don't actually do, and like, you're just trying to record people. Like, people say, oh, so you just go into, what was it? Some comment I just saw recently. Where was I? Some building. Oh, so you just go in there and like try to record people. Oh, it was the RTD. It was the Union Station video. So you just go to the Union Station, just record people randomly trying to catch a bus. I'm like, no, I don't. That's what you think. That's your reality. But I wasn't just sitting there recording people as they're trying to take their bus and like focusing on them. If I'm getting some B-roll from a distance, I'm getting a crowd of people going in, fine. But they act like I'm like recording one guy, like that walks out and following him the whole way. Like gets onto the bus. I'm like close to him and shit. Like that's not what it is. But like in their mind, that's what they're thinking. They think that that's their objective reality in their own head. Right? It's like, like what I said again, reality is subjective, or at least the perception of reality is objective. The mind is the ultimate placebo. Yes, that's a good one. It is. It's the ultimate placebo. And the mind isn't bad, right? It just is. But the mind is good. Because you can do lots of things with the mind, right? You can put a man on a moon. You could write a book. You can edit a video. You can do a First Amendment audit, right? There's so many things you can do with the mind. It's a good thing. But you just can't let your mind be who you are. That's the problem. Is, again, like I said before, when you're a child and you're, 3-4 years old, and just like Nick Johnson said, when you're a child, you resonate more with your moon sign than your sun sign, because your moon sign is more your emotional side, right? And so children are pure emotion. They don't have any logical side because their prefrontal cortex hasn't developed enough. So if you look at a kid, like you go into a kid and, a little 3-year-old toddler, and you take his candy out of his hand, what does he do? He just starts crying, right? He doesn't have any logical sense about him, right? So that's why kids are kind of selfish too, like toddlers and stuff. They're selfish, right? Because they don't know, they don't have any logic. They think on pure emotion. So, women think more emotionally too. So sometimes they can get compared to that type of stuff. Not on the same scale, obviously, but they do. So the mind is a good thing. You just can't associate yourself with your mind, but you should always be childlike though, when it comes to your spirituality though, and being Zen, right? Because although children don't have a logical side, logic is the mind, right? Emotion is more the soul, right? Emotion is feeling, right? Emotion is more knowing. Like that's why they say, feminine energy is emotional, and feminine energy is intuitive energy, right? The feminine side is the intuitive side. So if you are to tap into your emotional, into your feminine energy more, that is more being rather than knowing, right? There's a difference between understanding and knowing, right? So the soul is to knowing as the mind is to understanding. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of hard. Maybe people aren't following me here, but so like being a child, right? In that feminine energy, that intuitive energy is being one with your soul. It's like meditating. It's like who you really are. You're in the present moment all the time. That's how children are. They're not thinking about tomorrow. Like think if you're like 3 years old or 2 years old, you're not thinking about, well, what am I going to do tomorrow? You know what I mean? No, they're in the present moment. They're not thinking about yesterday either. They're not thinking about 10 minutes ago, dude. They're thinking about right now. That's it. Children are present. If you can do that as an adult, not obviously to that extreme because you can't, because you have responsibilities, right? So you have to be able to think into the future and the past too. But if you can just do that like 5% more than you're already doing, oh, you'd be amazed at how much more your life just all of a sudden takes off. That's it. That's what I mean by, that's what I think Nick means right here when he says that the mind is the ultimate placebo. It is. It can lead you astray. Your mind can lead you astray. You start thinking this stuff that's not true. That I am Christopher Cordova. I am a First Amendment auditor. I am a basketball player. I am an electrician. I'm a brother. I'm a son. No, I'm none of those things, really. I mean, I am, but really, I'm none of those things. I'm just a soul. I'm pure consciousness. That's really what you are. All that stuff's just your ego. You know what I mean? I'm not really a First Amendment auditor. That's my ego. Right? So everything here is just, it's just like it's a test. Like I said, it's a play. It's a play. And all the people that are in your play, they're getting ready to go on stage. And like, you think that this is so real, right? Like, oh my gosh, this life is just so real, man. Like something bad happens to you. Oh my God. Like, remember when you wake up from a dream, it's like a bad dream. And you're like, have you ever done that? Like woke up and like sat up real fast and your heart's pumping. You're like, oh, thank God. It was just a dream. You ever had those? I've had them. Like, oh my God, thank God. That was just a dream. That was so bad. Dude, that's what's going to happen when you die. You're going to be like, oh my God, I thought that I took that so seriously. Oh man. Like if something crazy bad happens to you, like even myself, I'll take my own experiences, right? Like dealing with this shadow ban on the DMA channel and shit. Because I realized this is a lesson. Like this isn't happening to me. It's for me. What am I supposed to learn? And I figured it out. I started associating myself with my identity as the DMA channel, right? I was so obsessed with it. It was everything to me. That's not good because especially as a spiritual person, I'm not DMA. That's just my ego. That's it. I'm the person observing the thought. I'm not the actual thought, right? Does that make sense? So since it became my identity so much, this is actually happening for me. It's not happening to me, right? And I already have, other stuff figured out. So, if you're a man, you got to be a problem solver, right? You got to be able to adapt. I already got everything else going on. I'm going to be fine. But it was kind of a lesson like, hold on, man. My identity is too much attached to this. You know what I mean? It's not good. So I lost my train of thought. I was going good. I lost my train of thought because I was still going with that. But sorry, that happens to me sometimes, guys, because I get in my thoughts too much. Okay, let's see what we got on the chat here. Let's catch up here. We can do the unimaginable with our imagination. That's true, man. That's a good one. I like that, dude. With your imagination, here's the thing with your imagination, though. You have to believe it to be true. Okay. Like people say, oh, that's not true. The law of attraction. I can't just say that, envision that I'm a billionaire tomorrow and I have $1 billion. Well, you could actually, but the only reason that you can't do it is because you don't truly believe that. You got to start small. I'm not going to manifest $1 billion by tomorrow, or maybe I'm not going to manifest that I make $1 million next year. Maybe I'll manifest that I'm going to make 100,000. You know what I mean? Like, start slow. It's not something reasonable that you can actually believe. That's the problem. But yeah, you literally could manifest $1 billion and, by the end of the month, but you just have to truly believe it, though. That's how it works. It really does work if you truly believe it. And yes, action is required, though. But I mean, if you're on that vibration where you believe it to be true, like, this is going to happen. I am going to make $1 billion this month, and you know it in your heart and your mind and your being, the actions will just flow automatically. Like, you will just do it. Nothing can stop you, because that's how it have to be to make $1 billion in a month, right? But like, do you really think that? Like, I'm going to make $1 billion next month? No. So like, how hard am I going to really try? I'm going to make $1 billion. Like, you write it down. You can try to manifest it. I'm going to make $1 billion this month. I'm going to make $1 billion this month. You can write it down a bunch of times like they tell you to do. But like, do you really believe it? Like, is it really achievable in your mind? Like, do you think it could happen? No. Okay. Well, then it's not gonna either. Because that's why. Because the law of attraction, you don't really believe it to be true or to actually be able to happen. So it can't happen for you. So yes, you can do the unimaginable with your imagination as long as you believe it to be true. And you start small and start realizing that I can manifest things in a small level, and then it gives you more confidence that I can manifest bigger things, and then bigger, and then bigger. And then when you get to the point where like you're manifesting big things and you're having these epiphanies, like, it doesn't even have to be money, dude. It could be anything. Like I said, it could be a friendship that's gone south. It could be a relationship that everyone said is fucking doomed. And then all of a sudden your friendship, you guys are best friends now. And like, this relationship that was doomed is like, you're married. That's evidence, right? That's confirmation that you're manifesting your entire reality. And then now you believe it even more. And then the sky's the limit, right? But when you don't realize your power, the limit is the sky. See the difference? The feeling is the secret. Neville Goddard. She's the one that wrote The Secret? No, that was Rhonda something. The feeling is the secret. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You want to elaborate on that? The feeling, like the feeling. Okay, so I think I know what you mean. The feeling. So your emotions, your thoughts are directly correlated to your emotions, and your emotions are directly correlated to your manifestation. The way you feel is what you're going to manifest. The way you feel, your emotions are an indicator of what frequency you're vibrating on, right? If you feel bad and icky, you feel pissed off, you feel sad, you're on a lower frequency. That's your emotions. It's an indicator that I'm not vibrating on a high frequency right now. But when you feel great and you're happy and like, that's another indicator. Everything's good. So the feeling is the secret. I think that's what you mean. Is that what you mean? Emotion is intuitive. Yes. That's why I say, women are more emotional. And like, sometimes people like get mad at me because I say that, like, oh, I can't believe you say that, or something. Like, it's true. It's a fact, dude. Go ask any psychologist or psychiatrist. Like, yes, women are emotional and men are logical. But, it's a good thing. Instead of thinking of it as like, I'm being sexist, there's things, like I said, that women aren't meant to do everything a man can do. They're meant to do everything a man can't do. So like, think of it as your power, not as something that's like a handicap. There's two things, logic and emotion. They're yin and yang. They're opposites, but they balance each other. That's why men and women come together and create this balance, right? If it was just all masculine energy and everything was super logical and all that, like that would not be good either. That'd be terrible. So emotion is the intuitive side. So that's why I said, like, why do you think that there are more women in the spiritual community than there are men? Right? Why is there more women tarot readers? Why are a lot of the, people that are the staples in the spiritual community, why are they women? Because they're the intuitive ones. They're in their feminine energy, right? Again, for intuition, the soul is to knowing as the mind is to understanding. The mind is just, it's your ego. It's not really real. It's something you possess. It's not who you are. You are your soul. So women are better at that. That's a good thing. And not all. I mean, there's some too. There's some men, lots of men actually. But I'm a man. I'm a spiritual person. But you got like Eckhart Tolle. You got Kurt Johnson. I love him. Rich Lopp. There's lots of people. But a lot of them are women though. Like more, like like you do audits and it's like 90% men, or maybe even more, like 95% men or something. Same thing with the spiritual community. It's like mostly women because they know. They are to the knowing, right? As the mind is to understanding. So like as the man is the logical one who can understand things, that's more the mind, right? I told Sweet Tea this too, because we've talked about it and about the spiritual stuff. And even being a spiritual person myself and embodying more feminine energy than maybe other men, I still embody more masculine energy though, right? And so like we've talked about it. She is to knowing and I am to understanding, even with this spiritual stuff. Like her intuitive side is better than mine. Maybe not right now, because my intuitiveness, like I said, is like I've never been this intuitive in my entire life. Like anything that just happens, if I think it's just I know it's the truth and I'll find out, and it is. But usually, like when it comes to spirituality, I understand it and I understand the process and like the laws of the universe, and I can explain it and teach it. She's not able to understand it and like teach it, but she just knows. You know what I mean? She knows. I understand. She knows. It's a weird feeling. It's like this intuitive thing that it's hard to explain. We need to get out of our thoughts and into our hearts. Yes. Into your heart being, a metaphor for into your soul, right? So what was it? The guy, I can't remember. I never remember his name, but the guy that said, "I think, therefore I am," right? He was famous for that, the philosopher. The mistake that he made was that he was associating thinking as to being. It's not, right? It's not, I think, therefore I am. It's, I am, therefore I am, right? It just is, right? That's what consciousness is. It is. Without the ego, this experience wouldn't be nearly as fun and exciting. That's true. So again, the ego is not a bad thing. So sometimes people think that I'm demonizing the ego or the mind, and it's not true. Like I said, the mind's great, dude. It can, like I said, do a First Amendment audit, right? It can draw a picture. It can decorate a hard drive. It can make jewelry, right? It can decorate a t-shirt into like a Merry Christmas Santa Claus thing with like all kinds of cool stuff. You never know. And mine can do anything, man. Mine's great. It's just, it's not who you are. All you got to do is you can still have a mind. You got to have a mind, but just know that you're not actually the mind. That's the difference. You realize that you are the thing observing the thought rather than the thought itself, right? So you are becoming aware of the fact that you are observing the thought. You are not actually the thought itself. You're the observer of the thought, if that makes sense. So, and I don't know, this conversation went from initially the cheating thing, emotional cheating, to like this is much more interesting for me, but I'm glad it happened this way. But oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. I was like, I had something good too. Oh dang it, I'll think of it. Yes, still shadow ban, but that's okay because again, I just said you're new in here, but I said before that you can't think of things of, well, why is this happening to me, but why is it happening for me? And I already realized the reason why it's happening for me. It's because my identity was too much based on that DMA channel, right? It was who I am. Like without it, I'm nothing. Like if it's gone, like I felt this when I started realizing, like, I don't know if this is going to come back. I started panicking and like, being like, oh gosh, like without the DMA channel, like I'm nothing. Right? Because my identity was so highly focused on that. So that's why that happened for me, not to me, right? Yes. Next comment just happened to be what I was saying. Yes. If you're still shadow banned, that seems a bit excessive. So much. Yeah. Well, it's because it's not free speech, because Google is a private company, and it's definitely a permanent ban. I mean, it's not definitely, I still have some hope, but I'm not holding my breath on that. If it's been this long, 6 months now, and it's still banned, it's banned. I can't get any shorts to get like really above like 20,000 views. I mean, my average short used to be like 100,000, at least 100, 100 to 500,000 per short. So it's definitely still shadow banned. Like some of these videos I'm dropping, I know they should be, it's funny because like when I get a video now that's like, 30,000 views, I'm like, oh dude, that's good. But like, dude, if I got like 6 months ago, if I got a video that was 30,000, I'm like, oh man, that's a flop, dude. That shit sucks. Because I usually get at least 50,000, 50 to 100. So it was just, but it's okay. I got the new channel. I'm gonna build that one up. It's gonna be fine. I got a really good video. I just got to keep dropping new videos on that one. I got a really good one. I'm almost done with. I'm gonna probably drop it on Saturday on the 2.0. It's an arrest video in Colorado Springs, so you guys will like it. It's a really good one. Like the last two videos I dropped on there, the golden one wasn't bad, but it wasn't like anything crazy exciting. These last two, they're kind of filler videos just to get get it going. But I'm actually dropping a really good video, the next one on the 2.0 channel, that like I'm very excited about this one actually. And I would really like to drop it on the main channel, but I can't. So maybe you need to manifest the end of the shadow. Hey, holy cow, dude. That was like that is a very touche moment right there, isn't it? Wow. Thank you. Thank you. That is a good fucking point. All the shit that I'm talking up here. And then you come in with that, dude, like mind blown. That's good. Thank you. Sounds like my son told me about orcs in Warhammer. They could just believe something would fly, so it did. No real mechanics. They just believed. Oh, really? Orcs? I don't know what an orc is. And so, like, as far as like believing something can fly, I'm not so sure about that. There are like universal laws of the universe, because this is like a simulation. So I don't think that, I'm not saying that you should go try to manifest being able to jump off a cliff and fly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's going to actually happen, but maybe, maybe it can't happen because you believe it to not happen. And like, I think the collective is so highly on the belief that a human can't jump off a cliff and fly. So it's going to be very difficult for you to actually believe that to be true. You know what I mean? But maybe it could be true if like enough people believed it. Because I mean, we're all a part of a collective too. And it's like, we're all tapping in, we're all one consciousness. We all tap into the same consciousness. We're all the same. If you think about it, we are. But we're having our individual experience, right? That's the difference. It's like my hand with all these fingers. They're having their individual experience, right? But it's still the same hand. The same, right? So if we're all as a collective believing a specific thing, then that's the way it's going to show up in reality for us, right? And we're having a mass awakening. We've been having a mass awakening right now. People are waking up spiritually, and not everyone. And it's not your job to wake people up, guys. It's not. Some people are not meant to wake up, and they'll never wake up. And you got to learn to decipher, to tell like who those people are. And some people literally incarnated on this earth in this 3D reality just to experience the 3D reality, and that's it. That was the purpose of their goal, or of their mission here, when they had their review on their life, with their spirit guides, their angels, and said, okay, this is going to be your life, this is what you're choosing. Like, that was the whole plan. Like, I'm going here just to experience the 3D. That's it. I'm not going to be awakened to my true self of what I really am and why I'm here. I don't want to. I want to just experience the 3D. That's it. You can tell those people. And sometimes those people are just really, they're backdrop people, dude. They're non-playing characters. but maybe not always. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'll get to your comment in a second. It was just a smiley face, but I accidentally clicked the wrong one. I recommend checking out Neville Goddard. He's got some good talks. That name sounds super familiar. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. But yo, what up? Life Under the Microscope. Voltaire. I don't know what that means. Happy face. Okay, missed that. I don't know what orcs are either. I didn't mean it. Oh, I mean in real life it would work. This reminded me of that. Oh, okay. Manifestations and all. Okay, yeah, I got you. Micro to the macro. We all have the same definitive repeated pattern that we have on us that forms us. All living organisms, all are based, just like machines, are all based on the golden ratio. Okay, what's the golden ratio? Sometimes, dude, I think you're too smart for me, bro. Life Under the Microscope. Really intelligent people come off as crazy people. I'm not saying you sound crazy, bro, but really intelligent people come off as crazy people to the average IQ and to like the sub average IQ. You know what I mean? I hope this isn't an oddball question, but why do some men try to hide their emotions? I mean, they say men don't cry, but I'm pretty sure they do if no one is around. Well, Caddy, are you a man or a woman? Because I didn't know that. I don't know what you are. I never have known. I always thought you were a man because most of our community is men, but there's a lot of reasons why men hide their emotions, and men do cry. It's just that we don't advertise it, like you said. But as far as like crying when no one is around, for me, because I've been stepping into my masculine energy a lot more than I did like a long time ago. I was definitely more in my feminine before, but when I say I don't cry, I don't. It's not because I don't get sad. I get sad. I just don't get so sad that I need to cry. In order for that to happen, it would have to be something big. Like if one of my dogs died, if Sweet Tea died, if my mom died, or something like that, it was devastating, I would cry. I know I would. So I think that's part of it. But also the reason why men hide their emotions is because it's unfortunately kind of this game that we have to play, talking about social dynamics, right? With men and women. It's this game you have to play because men are the leaders. They're the rock, right? And I was literally editing this video today, and it was about the downtown scene in Colorado Springs, and like, there's a bunch of fights going on and stuff, and like, the nightlife, and you can just tell the social dynamics, dude. Like the men are the leaders, the bosses, right? And and they're having fights out there and everyone's being alpha and shit, and then like you see the girls, like the girls are like, oh, those are the men, they're the leaders, they're doing the thing. You can just see it. It's just the way that I can feel it. So in order for the woman to continue thinking that about you, you can't just show all your cards all the time. You know what I mean? She has to be able to trust you and trust in your leadership. But if you fall apart all the time and you're crying, now you're in your feminine energy. That's not the ability to lead, right? How is she going to trust you to lead? As a man, you have to be the problem solver, right? You're the logical one. You figure shit out. You just do it. So and not saying you can't be emotional sometimes, cry in front of your girl, you can. And if you got a girlfriend that's going to judge you because you cry in front of her sometimes, fuck her, dude. But you can't do it all the time, though, dude. I don't care how good your girlfriend is, dude. If you're going to sit there and cry a lot in front of her, dude, she's going to start losing interest. It's not her fault. It's biologically hardwired into her brain. Because you're not, dude. Like, what's it called? Selective, what's it called? Natural something. It's where like people just die out that are meant to, you know what I mean? Because you suck or whatever. Your genes are going to unapologetically get weeded out of existence because no woman's going to want to be with you because, why? Because your genes aren't good, right? They're not going to ensure the survival of the species. Therefore, women are just naturally not going to want to mate with you. They're not going to want to be with you because that's not going to ensure the survival of the human species, right? So that's why I think men probably hide their emotions. Maybe men would want to be more emotional sometimes, but it's, again, this social dynamic game that we have to play, that we got to put on this front sometimes. And it shouldn't be a front all the time. It should be natural too, but sometimes maybe it is, maybe sometimes you just want to be like, emotional, but you can't. I think that's why too. Okay, hold on. Let's get back. And that was not an oddball question. I enjoyed that question. Thank you for asking that. I think orcs are from the Lord of the Rings. Okay. See, like, I don't really like Lord of the Rings because more than Lord of the Rings, I like pussy. I like to get laid more than watch these stupid ass movies, right? Just kidding. But it's the pattern nature repeats here through the electrical monopolar field, the creative force. Okay, see, there you go, man. Trying to be too smart for me, bro. But I see what you're saying. It's the pattern nature repeats through the electrical monopolar field, the creative force. Okay. I got you. But I can't really elaborate on it because you are too smart for me. I'm a guy. Okay, cool. So would you say that you tap into your feminine energy a little bit more? Are you more emotional? Do you cry more? Maybe. Q same, but he let me know that those are orcs in Lord of the Rings. Those are orcs. They're in Warhammer and are different. See, I don't even, that's why I'm having trouble here. I don't know what the heck. That's why I was like trying to like, when I first read this, I was like, Warhammer, I don't even know what that is. I don't like no Lord of the Rings. I really don't even like Star Wars. What are those other dorky ones? Harry Potter? Nah, man. I'm more of like a Fast and Furious kind of guy, dude. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what else we got here. Sometimes people have to let their emotions out, and it's healthy to do it, even us guys. Yes, totally agree, dude. If you hold it in too much, there's a reason why. Well, there's lots of reasons, but one of the reasons why men die faster than women, number one, is the stupid shit that men do. Well, number one, they're more risk takers, right? We have it, like I said before, that men live a harder life. I do think we live a harder life, but we also live a more dangerous life, if you want to consider that harder. But it's because of the stuff that we do. Like, we're the ones that go to war, right? Like, women don't have to sign up for the draft. Men do. the jobs that men take, the top 10 most dangerous jobs in America list are dominated by men, right? So that's another reason we die more on the job. We do more dangerous jobs. But another reason is that we're more stressed out. Like I said too, that men live a more stressful life. In that static video I did, got some mixed reviews too on that. But the reason we're more stressed is because of that, because we don't show our emotions. We hold it in. So like crying is a release of that emotion, right? That's why women live longer. That's one of the reasons, because they release that by crying. Or maybe they don't cry all the time, but they're just more emotional, and having that emotion is releasing the stress. But we can't all be emotional though, right? Like if every human being was just emotional all the time, like if every human being was like a woman, would probably be extinct. And I hope women don't get offended by that, but I think we would. Now, if all, people were like men, super logical and tough and shit, I don't think we'd be extinct, but it'd be fucking sucky, dude. Like life is not good without feminine energy. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like, again, women, I love feminine energy. You know what I mean? I love to be around feminine energy. I like feminine energy, but doesn't mean that it's bad or it's not as good. It just is the way it is. And I do think that, that there has to be this logical masculine side in order to keep it going. But again, that's also why they die faster, because they have to hold this in. You know what I mean? They have to hold it in, hold it down, So, and when I say stuff like this too, like I'm a man in this life, but if you guys follow my spiritual channel, I was a woman in a bunch of lives too, and men. Like we're all men and women. It's just right now in 2025 on Earth here in this particular parallel universe that I'm in, whichever one it is, like I'm a man. That's all. I've lived plenty of lives as women. So if you're a woman, you live plenty of lives as men too. So I don't want people to take it the wrong way. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think that I'm misogynistic or anything like that, because that's not true. It is the way it is. Okay, let's see where I'm at. Every guy is different. Some are more feminine and more able to feel and express our emotions. That's true. I think you were saying on the Empirical Miracle Show that you tap into your feminine energy a little bit more, right? Because you are more, you're more empathetic and stuff like that, right? And all men can tap into their feminine energy. All men embody feminine energy. I don't care if you're like, some alpha ass dude, it's, 220 pounds, straight ripped, 6'2", and, all that shit. Like you still have feminine energy too. We all do. And women have masculine energy, right? Just like men have estrogen and women have testosterone. Men can't have no estrogen, dude. That's like not good. If you don't have any estrogen, you should have way less than a woman. But if you have none, that's not good, dude. You're going to like not be feeling good mentally. Your bones won't be as hard. You know what I mean? You break bones easier. Lots of bad stuff happens to you. Same with women. The reason why women have a sex drive is because of testosterone. Testosterone is a sex drive hormone. So yeah, women have, like a small fraction compared to men. Maybe that's why men are usually the more horny ones. I don't know. But that's what gives them their sex drive, is the testosterone. So they have to have it. But yeah, it's true. Some are able to. And again, I think the ones that are able to are, like I said, most of the people in the spiritual community are women, because they're more of the intuitive ones, right? They're more in their feminine energy. You're in the spiritual community. You're a man. You admitted that you're more in that feminine energy. I'm in the spiritual community. I've admitted I'm more in that feminine energy. But I would still say, just from talking to you, on the show, and, we talked for, like you said, over an hour that one day on the phone. I've seen your skateboarding videos. Like I still know that you're far more masculine than you are feminine, but you do tap into the feminine a little bit more. Very true, Nick Johnson. Very true. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Natural selection. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. I'm definitely not saying men should cry all the time and be babies. No, okay, I know what you're saying, dude. I wasn't saying that you were saying that, but it's okay for men to cry in certain situations, but not if they fall apart when they need to pull the family out of a hole, for example. I like that, Candace. Very good. That kind of coincides with what I was saying, right? It is okay for a man to cry, and it's even okay for him to fall apart, right? But he can't do it all the time. You know what I mean? You're gonna lose whatever woman you have. I don't care how good she is. There's gonna be a point where she's gonna say, "Okay, dude, this is I can't." She's gonna feel bad too about it, but she's like, "I can't do this anymore." You know what I mean? But if you're like that though, she's probably not gonna align herself with you in the first place. You know what I mean? I mean, she's not gonna marry you if she met you and you're like that. That's another thing. That's another repellent for women. If you're way too emotional, dude, and you can't handle situations, you're not able to problem solve and handle things, then you're gonna be single forever, dude. You know what I mean? No one's gonna want to be with you. But if for whatever reason you used to be a leader and then all of a sudden you start falling apart, dude, that's why I say, you know, men are the ones that love unconditionally, and women's usually love, not always, but they do love more with a condition, right? So if you stop being the person that you used to be, they're going to fall out of love with you and they're going to leave you. So if you started out being a leader, all these masculine traits that women like, you were a leader, you were a protector of your loved ones, you were a problem solver, you were ambitious, you were goal oriented, all this stuff that women like. And then all of a sudden you change into the relationship, something happens. I don't know. You know, stuff could happen. You know, maybe your kid dies. You know, that is a huge one for couples getting divorced. That's an example. Maybe you guys had a kid together and they died. And then it just totally fucked your whole world up as a man, dude. And like, you just can't recover from it, dude. And, you know, 5 years have gone by and like, you lost your job and you suck now. And like, you have no ambition. You know what I mean? And you're depressed all the time, right? Even your woman, dude, she's going to eventually can't handle that, dude, because it's hardwired into her brain. I have to survive. You know, physically, the meaning of life is to survive and replicate. That's it. So biologically, she's going to say after 5 years, like, dude, I need to survive and replicate. it's my natural biological urge. I have to do that. I can't do that with this guy. So that's just one example I just thought of, you know, that could be a reason why you could start out that way and then end up not being that way. Oh, let me change this music. I've been doing the same song for a grip. Let's see. Do the West Side. Okay. I do cry if I'm going through something that's bothering me more than usual, and I feel like I need to let it out. I feel much better when I do it and I can move on. Okay. And see, like, I have things that bother me more than usual, but I don't usually cry over them. And it's not because I'm trying to be like extra masculine or anything like that. It's just, I just don't. I just don't. But I will cry if I have to. But yeah, more than usual. Like, I guess maybe it's because my entire life's a big stress. So I'm like callous to it, dude. I've kind of, my whole life has kind of been like that. And it's because, I mean, everyone's life's like that, really, but not just me. I'm not special. Not like that's a special thing, but I do think that I'm a light worker. So, you know, light workers have definitely harder lives because, again, all the growth happens during the hard times, right? So it's like we chose this. We just don't want you to fall apart when you need to lead us out of a bad situation or when it's time to protect us if we are in danger. There are times when men are expected not to fall apart. Wow. That's great. I really resonate with a lot of the stuff you say. I believe that 100%. And again, you seem like a good woman. Like I said before, if you got a woman that's like she, clowns on you because you cry sometime, dude, screw her, dude. You know what I mean? Straight up. Because you can cry sometimes, for sure. But yeah, again, just like I was talking about, there comes a certain point where you have to be the one. You can't rely on the woman to be the leader in the rock. You know what I mean? Men are to lead, women are to follow. You have to be able, like Candace says, to lead us out of a bad situation, or when it's time to protect us when we're in danger. You know what I mean? You can't be, like I said before on one of my other shows, oh, someone is breaking into the house and you can't be the one hiding under the covers. Go check it out, babe. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You gotta do your gender role, And if that's something you struggle with as a man, then that's something that you need to learn. That's part of your lesson here on Earth, is to learn how to do that. We are heading for extinction. The creative force that makes what we call nature will bring it back, as it does to extinct creatures that died out when we were reborn in the egg. Nature's perfect form. Okay. So you're saying that the human existence is headed for extinction right now? Okay. Exactly. Men do have to be able to keep it together and think rationally in tough situations. Yes. That is like the test of a man, dude. Like, when you can keep it together in a very high stress situations. Again, why do you think men take the high stress jobs, dude? Working on the oil rigs and, all the crazy shit that men do. It's a high stress job. And yes, I have somebody like that feminist guy, Mitch, that was in here trying to debate me. Have you ever given birth? Or, like, social workers are hard jobs too. Yeah, they are hard jobs, dude. Of course, any job's hard, right? But it's not like high stress, like, your adrenaline's pumping every time you clock in, bro. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of stress. And so men have to learn how to keep it together and think rationally in tough situations. That's a very masculine trait. It's a very important thing to learn how to do in this 3D reality. Now, I love your woman's side of things. And I agree with you 100%. You've never said anything in here that I've disagreed with. And, like, even I learn stuff too, like sometimes I think I know it all and I have it all together, and I don't. And you're always growing and getting better, right? And I'll have an epiphany of, maybe I should do something this way. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the way to do something to be a better leader. You know what I mean? Or, if I'm thought of as maybe not as a good leader or something like that. Well, what is it about that makes this person think that? What can I fix about myself? Maybe this person is teaching me this lesson. I'm supposed to learn something from this experience. I'm not supposed to say, oh, this person doesn't think I'm a good leader. Oh, why is this happening to me? Like that's not what you're supposed to do. I am smart and can protect myself if I have to with my Second Amendment, but I would expect a man to do that if he is there. Yes. That is like, you sound just like Sweet Tea. Because that's how she is. She's like, she's got her Second Amendment too. And, she dare somebody to come in and mess with her. You know what I mean? Because she can. But I'm sure that, if I'm there, she's going to expect me to handle it. She's not going to just handle it on her own. Right. And, it has to do with just a lot of, because even Sweet Tea's, because she thinks she's tough, and she is tough, but she thinks she's tougher than she is sometimes. And I have to look out for her. Not always, but I just remember I'm thinking back of like a very specific time, where I'm like, hey, you know what? No. Um, but even, Sweet Tea knows that when it comes down to it, right? Even as me being, not as strong as most men, I'll just put it that way. And even though I do have a goal, I told Wicked Wembley that I'm getting swole as fuck. I am going to be strong as fuck in 6 months. I'm hitting the gym hard, dude. I'm really working on it. I'm going to be really strong because I have the capability of. I just have to work harder. I'm not naturally strong. But even being weaker than most men, I'm still stronger than the vast majority of women. That's just the difference between men and women. You know what I mean? So the woman's always going to expect you to do something in a crazy situation. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how tough a woman is. In 99% of situations, a man would manhandle. Dude, and I didn't even see your comment, but I don't know if you put that right after I said that, but that's true. That's true. It's very true. I say, you take 100 men and you take the weakest one guy out of that 100 men, he's still probably stronger than the next 1,000 women. And like some people think, like, oh, men are, right here and women are just, right here. No, dude, men are up here and women are like way down there. If you take like sports, sometimes people literally think because, women can do everything a man can do. You take the WNBA, and they'd mop the floor with a high school boys team. And like, no, dude, they wouldn't. That's how you can tell. You take an average high school basketball team would mop the floor with the WNBA All-Stars. And I love freaking, what's her name? The new chick. I can't even think of her name right now. The hype one, the point guard that shoots all those threes like Steph Curry. Can't even think of her name. Caitlin Clark. I love her. And I love watching WNBA because of her. But like, go watch your high school basketball team. Just go to your local high school and watch it. Go watch a game. It's free. And then go watch a WNBA game. And tell me if you notice a difference, dude. I do. So, and I mean, there's women that could beat my ass, dude. I mean, if you're like, if you're a trained, professional boxer or some shit, like some women are going to beat my ass, sure. That's just, there's not like very many of them, A lot of it has to do not even with, a lot of it is with strength, but a lot of it has to do with coordination. Women just aren't as coordinated as much. And men are designed for this. Like men are supposed to be the hunters. Like again, 99% of the human existence has been in 50 to 100 people tribes. So men are hardwired. We are not hardwired. We're biologically evolved to be the hunters, right? We're out there hunting, jumping over rocks, right? Running, throwing a spear into the freaking antelope or whatever it is, dude. Like that shit takes coordination, hand-eye coordination, strength to be able to do that, to coordinate and, effectively, as a men hunting. That's why men are leaders, because we can coordinate. You have the alpha and he's directing someone, go over here, and you can work as a group to work together as a team, right? Just like sports, work together as a team and get this kill so you can take it home for the family and feed the wife and kids, right? So we're designed for that. Women aren't designed for that because women haven't had to do that. Maybe in a, 50,000 years, something will be different. I don't know. It's not like that anymore. Like we have to, go hunt for food and shit anymore. Right now we do farming and everything else, but that's why, men are better at sports than women and stuff like that. And women are better than men at certain stuff too. Women excel in gymnastics, because they're more flexible and they can do stuff that men can't do too. But, I think that kind of has a lot to do with it too. It's the coordination, And I've noticed too, like, black people are better at sports typically, like, they dominate sports, right? Except for hockey, but I think it's because black people don't like the cold, maybe. That's my theory. I don't know. I feel like if black people decided to get into hockey, they dominate that too. And I'm not sure why that is. They are more coordinated though, because I remember one time at this field day, that I was at. I was at a kids' field day. It was probably at least 10 years ago. And it was a white school, but there was this one black kid. You know, usually there's like one black kid in the school. Dude, the kid was fucking dominating every freaking event. I was like, dude, that kid's fucking badass. Some black kid. I don't know why that is, dude. I haven't figured it out yet, but they are physically stronger typically, and they're more coordinated. They're more athletic, you know. That's why they dominate all the sports. I don't know if it has to do with, some people say it's like through slavery, how they like bred them. They only bred like, you know, the big ones and the athletic ones so they could breed with, you know, have more slaves, you know what I mean? Like you do with dogs and shit. Like if you want the biggest pit bull and all that, you breed them with the other big dogs, you know what I mean? Type thing. That's one theory, but I don't know. Not to change the subject, but does Sweet Tea still do First Amendment auditing? I always liked watching her videos. No, she does not. Not to say that she won't ever do it. I think she will. And I think she knows she will too. It's just that right now she doesn't. There's lots of reasons why. I'm not going to get into all those, but she will do it again. She will. It might be a while. I wouldn't say it'd be longer than 6 months though. She'll be back out there. I mean, I would love to do, I really like to work by myself nowadays. I haven't even gone out and recorded because I have so much stuff to do still. But when I do, I'm going to go back to being by myself. It's better because I can control the interaction. That last video that I did with Guerrilla Publishing with Sean, it was too much. I don't like those talking over each other and interrupting and all that shit. I don't like it. So I'm better by myself. But me and Sweet Tea are great. And there's certain people I can work with that are not like that. You know, me and Nasty Nathaniel is a good one. But me and Sweet Tea are perfect together. And part of the reason me and Sweet Tea are good together too is because of that masculine and feminine energy. When we're out there, she does let me lead. And, you know, we talked about it too back in the old days about her wanting to be able to talk more. And we talked about it, how we're going to go do an audit together and you're going to do all the talking. I'm just going to sit back and not say anything. But we never really got, she kind of quit before we got to be able to do that. But I mean, I used to watch Sweet Tea. I watched all of Sweet Tea's videos. I binge watched them before I even met her. And she is good, dude. She has her own style. Like it's her name, Sweet Tea. And it's perfect for her. And she has her own way of doing it, which is really effective too. But the problem is that when she gets in with a group audit, all the stuff that we did was a bunch of people and you got too many cooks in the kitchen, then it's hard. It's hard for her to get her voice heard. Because people talk over her, and I actually even noticed it one time. And I was with her. And I don't think he did it on purpose. It was me, her, and Nasty Nathaniel at Belmar Library. I don't know if I ever told her this, but Nasty Nathaniel, Sweet Tea was saying something, and Nasty Nathaniel just talked over her, and like kind of just, all of a sudden everything just went to whatever he was saying. And I was like, I noticed that. And so, but when she's by herself, though, there's no one to interrupt her, and she does a great job. It's biology. That's just the way it is. Yep. It's just the way it is. And again, I've lived, I don't even know, probably thousands of lives as a woman before. Or that's just the way it is. And I'm not the stronger one. It's not answering insults. It's a fact. Thank you. Or it's not an insult. It's fact. I know what you meant. That's why the trans men were beating the fuck out of women in their sports. Yep. That's why they say, hey, you know, women can do everything a man can do and all that stuff. But, you know, then all of a sudden the men come in that identify as women now. And these men aren't even like, if they were to compete with other men, they wouldn't be dominant. They'd either be mediocre or maybe even the bottom of the barrel. Right. But then they go in, try to compete with women and they dominate it. Dude, that's messed up. Like these women that take sports seriously, because I'm all about women's sports, dude. I love women's sports. They dedicate their life to it and they practice, you know. all the time, spend their whole life to get their skill to where it is, and they would have won the gold medal or whatever it is, the championship or whatever it is. But then it gets taken away because some guy. Can you imagine that being a woman? Some guy who says he's a woman now, but he has a fucking penis, or maybe he has a sex change, but he has, you know, an X and a Y chromosome, right? And you lost because of that. That's not right, dude. That's cowardly. That's how I look at it, man. And even if you are a man and you think you're a woman, you're not. Maybe because people, they mistaken energy, or they mistaken gender for energy, right? So maybe you do embody more feminine energy, but you're still a man though, right? You still have like way higher testosterone levels. So you're stronger, right? So even if you think that, dude, like it's not fair for you to do that. I think. Okay. I always loved how Sweet Tea put humor in her videos. I got a kick out of it. Oh, really? Which one? I wish we could watch some, but she took them all down. Tell me which one you thought specifically. I like watching you and Regan. Thank you. I also love how Regan puts people in their place, especially when they deserve it. Yeah, she's good at that. Regan's names, she calls the cops. Oh my God, so funny. I don't know how she comes up with those. Yeah, I don't know what names. She kind of has like a quick wit. Like she said, what size shoe do you wear? 6.5? Women's? Like that one was good. You know, there was a one time that Sweet Tea got bucked, dude. It was the first, I remember that. Maybe that's why. Because there's a picture. Let me show you guys something. There is a picture that I think whenever I see that video or like that picture of her on that day, she's like the hottest thing I've ever seen. Hold on, let me find it. Got a lot of my computers. Here we go. It's kind of buffering right now. Let's share screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so let me show you guys. This one. This picture right here. It says, what does it say? It's got a caption on it somewhere. It says like the prettiest girl on oh, here it is. The prettiest girl on activism. And it's something about that picture. And I think I know what it is. It's because that was the day that she finally got sick of it. Because I remember her saying in an audit, she's like, I don't know why these men always talk over me. It's because I'm a woman. I know it. I remember it was at the Weld County one that we did. She said that. And she finally got freaking sick of it, dude. And she just had enough, dude. And she freaking walked up on that state patrol guy and freaking got right in his freaking face, dude. Like buck right next to him, dude. Like an inch from him. Just like she was trying to prove a point how that they do that to us. And dude, it was one of the most bold things I've ever freaking witnessed. And so she made that video and I made a short with it. It had a whole shitload of views, hundreds of thousands. But I think that's probably why I think that picture is so attractive, because was that day. You know what I mean? I remember how like turned on I was by that. So. I think she was talking with a security guard named Chad, and she was like, "I don't think that's going to happen, Chad." She kept saying Chad. It was pretty funny. Oh yeah, because she was like, yeah, she was like, "Okay, Chad. Okay, Chad." And then yeah, that was a good video, dude. That was Monument Library. I had the compilation up on the DMA channel. I deleted it though because I was so pissed off about, because I wanted to republish it later because of the shadow ban, but I think I'll probably edit that up. I have a bunch more. I'll re-edit that up and put it on the backup channel and see how it does. And then I literally was going to do a series, a Sweet Tea series. I'm going to do a bunch of compilations of her because I have so many videos with Sweet Tea. I have more videos with her than I do Regan. And even after Sweet Tea, when Sweet Tea quit auditing and I kept working with Regan more, even when I stopped working with Regan eventually, so when Sweet Tea quit, I had like 50 more videos with Sweet Tea. And then after I stopped working with Regan, now I haven't worked with either of them in a long time. I still have more videos with Sweet Tea. I went through them all. So I have tons. She's most in my videos. And so a lot of times she's more of a supportive role, but I'm taking all of the parts where she wasn't supportive and she was her parts, and I'm going to put them together where it's just her stuff. It's not so much me. I'm going to do a whole, like I said, like series or a, what's the word I'm looking for? A series. Episode would be one. It'd be what's the word I'm thinking of, guys? Man, that stinks that she took down her videos down. Yeah, she'll put them back up eventually. They're not like, she didn't delete them. They're just, she made them all private. Yep, that's the video. Yeah, the one Monument Library. What else did she say in there? She was like, and the thing about Sweet Tea is she's like funny, but she doesn't mean to be. You know what I mean? Like stuff she says, it's like cute, and because her voice is so girly. So, and then she did other stuff, like when she was talking to that Chad guy. Oh, at the very end of the video, like was the live stream, and she was like, "Guess what? His name was Chad, another Chad," and she was just so happy because that was when she very first started too, and I think she had like maybe 1,500, 2,000 subscribers at the time. She's very new, but her channel grew quickly because she's a woman, and it's very rare. Men like that. If you're doing this as a woman, your channel, if you're good, your channel will grow quickly. And but it was her first time, like, well, it was her first time going live, but it was, it was her first time by herself in a crazy interaction like that. I wasn't there to protect her. And so she had a lot of people in there supporting her. And I even remember that was when I very first met her. Like we weren't really like anything official or crazy then. And I remember watching the live stream, like wishing I was there, to protect her, because like I just wanted to make sure she's okay, and I couldn't. So it's kind of difficult to see her. So like now, it's not a control thing, but I wouldn't like her going out and auditing on her own. Now, if she decided that, hey, I'm going to be a full-time auditor, this is what I'm going to do for a living, I wouldn't stand in the way of that. But I would also, I know how dangerous it is, you know what I mean? And so I wouldn't like it. Trans women are not women. They are men made to look like women. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I'm not going to deny somebody their humanity. I mean, I know a trans woman, and so, I call her she and all that stuff. It's like, it's not going to really affect me. So I'm not, but I also am not going to really completely forget that biology exists. And this individual doesn't even like expect me to believe that anyways, she knows. So at least she's not delusional like that too. But like the delusional ones, no. I would rather have my PP added to than chopped off. I know, dude. That's hilarious, bro. We all would, right? That's funny. Yeah, man. I mean, if you're willing to go through that, I mean, literally mutilate your own body like that. I mean, people say, that it's a mental disorder. It's you're mentally ill. I mean, according to science, it is. It's called gender dysphoria, I think is what it's called. And so it's an actual condition. You know what I mean? I don't think she did. She still does stuff. Probably not as often as she used to. But no, she still got some stuff going on. Yeah, no, she did not. I don't know if a man wants to dress like or be turned into a woman. Just don't try to compete in a physical sport against bio women. Yes. Oh, I don't care. Not, I don't know. I agree. Same way. Again, there's nothing you said that hasn't resonated with me. Exactly what I just said. I don't care if you want to be a woman, that's fine. It doesn't really affect me at all, unless you're trying to compete with my daughter and her softball team, right, or basketball team or something like that. Well, then now it's affecting me, or at least it's affecting my loved ones. Oh yeah, so I wanted to talk real quick about, since we got a little break in here in the chat, about memberships on the 2.0 channel. So I'm actually was thinking like this channel here eventually is going to be monetized, because I don't, maybe another 3-4 months. I bet you I could get at least partially monetized, and then maybe in 6 months fully. Not that I'll ever make a bunch of money on this channel, but I don't really have to do much work on it, so it's nice. But on the 2.0 channel, I do have memberships up, and I wanted to address something about that, because I've had people say in my comment section and stuff, and I'm sure they say it on a bunch of people, oh, I unsubscribed to you because now your videos are pay-per-view. Or like, oh, this is another pay-per-view guy, just like the rest of them, or something like that. And so I can't speak for everyone else's channel, but just so you know, when I do members only videos, I'm not giving my members stuff that I'm taking away from everyone else, right? The members are getting something extra that I normally wouldn't put on the DMA channel or the DMA 2.0 channel, right? So just so you know, I don't know, a lot of you guys probably don't think that, but it's a small audience, not going to go to anyone, but just wanted to clarify that the members only stuff is something extra that I normally wouldn't put up there. So like an example would be, I have live streams, they, instead of making them private, because I usually just make them private, I'll just put them for the members. And then I'll usually edit something out of that to make it into a full video, edited video. Or maybe it'd be a deleted scene, you know what I mean? Or the video is too long and, I don't want to put this part in. I got to take it out. You know what I mean? And maybe I just didn't think it was good enough to make the cut. And so like, it could be construed as, just the stuff that's not really that good. You know what I mean? But I figure, hey, if people like me and they like my channel enough to where they're going to have a paid membership, they probably would like this extra content. You know what I mean? So like one thing I'm thinking about putting on the 2.0 channel for my members, I have 2 members so far, but and only the tier above the main tier, the first tier is my name's right here. Second tier is my name's right there. The names right there and up get actual members only videos. The first tier, they get some members only. It's more just like teasers and stuff. But for that tier, like I was going to put in this latest video because I wanted to put it in there, but then it was like, no, it's too slow. You know what I mean? It was just a phone conversation that the police officer was having with the EMT when he was trying to basically convince her that I was obstructing, trying to, you know, ask her leading questions for evidence to get me against me doing his investigation. And so I was going to initially put that in, but then I was like, nah, I don't think I should put that in. So I might just throw that in for the members. You know what I mean? It's not something I'm taking away from everyone else. It's something extra that they get. But King Chao, then you could play with him whenever you wanted. No worries about consent. Because he said, I like booby, but I don't want boobies on me. Yeah, you don't have to worry, man. Just fondle yourself. Oh, he likes playing with others, though. You guys are funny. Okay. Hold on real quick here. Okay, let's do... I gotta bring some new stuff up here. Let's do a quick intermission. All right, we only lost like 2 people. Sweet. You guys like my new shirt? Oh, I got a microphone over here. Oh shit. Hold on. Time out. This thing is so I don't like about this thing. It's not as good as I'm a clunk as my other one. Okay, that should be good. Okay. So I want to show you guys my new shirt. Check it out. It's like green and purple. Okay. All right. So where were we? Nothing beats the real ones either. That's another thing. If you ask a bunch of women, I'm going to actually start doing stuff on this channel. I'm going to do like street interviews. I decided on this channel of stuff like I want to go to do like interview people in like downtown, not about audit stuff, like just about social dynamic stuff. There's lots of topics I want to do, like does size matter? I think that stuff gets like lots of views. I want to ask women what their opinion is. What do men like? Do men like natural or do they like silicone? You know, do men like natural or do they like, you know, whatever, you know, they do, you know what I mean? All the plastic surgery stuff. Well, there's a word for it. I don't even know what it is. I have to figure that out. But I want to do a poll. I want to get what people think. I'm going to ask all the women what they think men like, and then ask all the men what they actually like. And I think most men like natural. Like women think that men like, you know, boob jobs and, you know, fake ass and lip fillers and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think they do. I don't. I prefer natural. Oh, thanks, Caddy. I know isn't it sweet, dude? It's like very bright, like the purple here. And I was like looking for a hat to go with this, and like literally this purple, it's like an exact match. So I was like, sweet. There's my hat. It's my hat for the live stream. Because I was like, usually I just wear like bum clothes when I'm just editing videos. I don't wear like good stuff. If I know I'm not going anywhere or anything. I don't want to wear my nice clothes and wear them out, you know? It's easy to tell fake boobs. Yeah, I mean, I've never actually felt a fake boob, but I mean, you can just tell by looking at them. You know what I mean? They're stiffer, you know? Natural ones are better. Yeah, you can feel the fake boob plastic. Have you ever been with a girl with fake boobs then? Oh, you have. Yeah. You said I have. Okay. I mean, they're like, you know, they look nice. Maybe if a woman wants to get them for her own confidence, you know, like I can fill out this shirt better, you know, something like that. That's fine. If you're doing it for you, that's fine. But I don't know. Like I said, I've never had a fake one, so I don't really know. Can't really say, but I mean, if you love someone, you know, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, like, I literally will never think anyone is more pretty than Sweet Tea. And I'm not like I'm not the most handsome guy in the entire universe. You know what I mean? I'm not. But I hope that she thinks that I am. You know, that's all that I care about. If it was cancer, I would get that. What are you talking about? From fake boobs? I need to put some wax in, dude. I'm getting a little canker sore thing or whatever they're called from these braces. I think I'm almost done with these braces, guys. Look, my teeth are like pretty on point. The only thing is, I'm missing a tooth right there. I got to get that. That's coming up in a couple of months. Get an implant, and then I'll just have to have my retainer in. Should be done soon. We're just doing fine tuning right now. I feel like they're like perfect right now. I feel like I could get them off next appointment or something. But I'm ready to get them off, dude. They're kind of annoying. I mean, I'm used to them now, but they're annoying, dude. I don't know if you guys have ever had braces, but you get like they rub sometimes against your gums, and you got to put wax on them so that it doesn't like make your gums, your inside of your mouth bleed and shit. And then they always got food in them, and they're like, I remember when I first got these braces, I was like, the first like couple weeks, I was like, holy shit, you can really notice it. And I was like, I'm gonna have to live my life like this for like a year and a half, 2 years. I was like, it was traumatizing. I was like, dude, this sucks. No way I'm gonna have to live like this because it's all bulky and like it's just not a comfortable feeling. But like I'm used to it now, but they're still annoying though. I'm always like doing these weird thing like with my tongue, and like I noticed that I have like extra twitches now. I already got like twitches and shit that I do, but I don't need extra ones. Okay. Yeah, fake boobs cancer. Yep. I mean, they have like the silicone ones, and they got the saline ones too. Some women get boob cancer. Yeah. I think they're relatively safe. I actually had, I don't know if I should say this. I'd probably not say it. I had a family member have them. I don't want to talk about it, but I'll just say this family member. I had a family member who had the implants, and then she got rid of them. She got them taken out. I remember when I saw her and seen her in a while, and I was like, hey, I don't want to be like, kind of weird or whatever, but like, you look really busty. And she was like, oh, no, I got a boob implant. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, so I'm not tripping. But then she ended up getting them taken out. She didn't want them anymore. It's like, okay, good for you. You know what I mean? And getting fake boobs with more prosthetic. Yeah, it's more like, it's just fake. You know what I mean? Like natural. Even with anything, like whatever makes the woman feel confident is fine. But like for me, like if I love you, I don't care about that stuff. I'm still going to be turned on by you. You know what I mean? I mean, beauty fades, you know. Beauty is not forever, dude. Everyone gets old. There's no such thing as like some sexy ass 75-year-old dude, or 75-year-old woman. I mean, I guess maybe there could be, but like it's super rare, right? I mean, the older you get, I mean, what about 80? What about 85? Is there any like sexy ass 85-year-old women? You know what I mean? Like, they're banging, bro. Like, nah, man, come on. Like, everyone's gonna. Can you just find that one person that you love, and at least that you can put up with? You can stand them. You like their company most of the time. Oh yeah, you hated braces. Yeah, they're a nightmare, bro. 5 years, holy shit, bro. You had some fucked up teeth, huh? Yeah, you got some fucked up teeth, bro. My teeth actually were not that bad, dude. I had the one right here, I think, that was bad. I don't even remember. Actually, it was on this side. And then it was kind of like far back. And that's it. But then they had to put them on the top too, because when they adjust the bottoms and make them straight, they got to move the teeth around. So then your bite will be off. So they got to put them on the top too to also adjust those. So my top was straight as fuck. I never had any issues with my top. It was just the bottoms. And it wasn't terrible. Like when I smile too, you can't tell because like it looks like but usually you can't see my bottom row anyways when I smile. So my smile was always good. But like if I'm talking or something, you could see them. And I didn't only got braces because I could have got braces for free when I was a kid. I mean, I was under my mom's insurance, and like I just didn't want them. I was like, no, I like it. I like my crooked tooth. But then now I'm like, I kind of wish I would have just done it when I was a kid, got it done for free. But the reason I got braces is because I literally walked in to get my teeth cleaning, and the orthodontist was right next door to the dentist. And so it was Comfort Dental. If you guys have those where you're at, So I walked into the wrong place and like, oh, this is orthodontist. It's next door. I was like, oh, okay. She's like, but we have like this special going on if you want to check it out, blah, blah, blah. And she was telling me no interest and all this. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll come back by and check it out. She probably didn't believe me, but I got done with my cleaning. I was like, just go check it out. You know, she was telling me about it. I did the consultation. I was like, oh, that's a good deal. I mean, it is a good deal. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll get some braces. Fuck it. Why not? And so I did it, but the Comfort Dental. So here's the thing about Comfort Dental that I figured out. I went in there and I've never had a cavity in my entire life until I went to Comfort Dental. It was probably like 10 years ago. They're like, oh, you got a cavity. We got to get it filled. And like they filled some cavity. I didn't even fucking have a cavity. I know I didn't. And then I had this chipped tooth in the back too, because like I opened a beer bottle with my teeth. You ever done that? You know, being a dumbass as a man, as a young man. And I chipped my tooth, but it was fine. It wasn't like bothering me or anything. And they filled that. But I think I've had 2 cavities. All of a sudden I had 2 cavities. It's Comfort Dental. And I was like, dude, how the fuck? I've never had a cavity my whole life. I'm already old. I'm in my 30s now. Like, how am I getting cavities all of a sudden? And then I went to this Comfort Dental, that one in Colorado Springs. And they're like, oh, you got these cavities up here. You got to get them filled. I was like, no, all right, cool, man. I'll do it. And then I just didn't. And the next time I went in there, he didn't even notice the cavities. And then went in the next time after that. And he's like, oh, you got all these cavities on the bottom. I was like, what? Bottom? You said last time I had them on the top. And he's like, oh, hold on. Let me check my notes. Oh, yeah, actually, you do have them on the top. Yeah. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, man, fuck this guy, dude. And then I ended up getting I actually needed to get a root canal because when they filled my cavity, they did the filling the first time, like 10 years ago, because of the cavity that I had. I know I didn't fucking even have one, dude, because I never had any pain, nothing, dude. Like, I have good teeth. It's genetic because my grandparents never had any cavities either. I know I have good teeth. So that's why I had to get the fucking root canal, because they did the filling for no reason, because they just want to make money off your insurance. That's all. They don't care about it's unethical, dude. And like they did this such a deep cavity fill that like eventually started fucking with the nerve, and like it fucked my tooth up, and I had to get the root canal. And then when they did the root canal, they were trying to save the tooth, but then when I was in jail, my tooth cracked, dude. I was eating a piece of bread and I took a bite and like I felt it crack, and like it was all fucked up. And I was like, damn. I went to this new dentist, and he was like, oh yeah, we can't save the tooth. They had to pull it, so that's why I'm missing the tooth. But he even told me when I went in there for the root canal, I was like, this dentist in Colorado Springs saying I got all these fucking cavities and shit. And like, first he said they're on the top, and then I went 2 times later, and he said now they're on the bottom. And he didn't even notice the ones on the top. And then he looked at his nose and said, oh yeah, you do. And like, he looked at all my teeth, and he's like, dude, I'll be honest with you, bro, you don't have any fucking cavities. And I told him my theory that like, dude, these guys are like saying this shit and making it up so they can just make money off my insurance, bro, and like fill cavities for no reason. And he's like, dude, I'm a dentist. He was kind of a younger guy. Like, he was like 40, not super young, but he was like, I'll be honest with you, I see a lot of that. I see people come in here, they literally have like tons of cavities, fills, and they have the same problem you have of where like they got too many cavities, cavity fillings. They probably didn't even need them. And then they get it, there's too deep, and they need a root canal because it starts affecting that nerve after a while. And he's like, I've seen it a bunch in this business, man. And I was like, dude, that is fucked up, dude. Like, this dentist kept saying that I needed cavity, I had all these cavities. And then I got this other dentist said that you have no cavities, bro. So like, you got to be careful with these, like, you know, Comfort Dentals, these like, you know, low pay or whatever, low pay, slow pay, whatever it is, you know, like, you be careful with those guys, man. Like, they're crooks, bro. So don't trust them foos. I was pissed about that, dude, because like I literally lost a fucking tooth. I'm gonna end up spending like $4,000. So like, the cavity that this bitch filled, that I didn't even fucking have a cavity, ended up costing me $4,000 and lost tooth. You know what I mean? Fuck that bitch, dude. Is there a vitamin that helps with weight loss? That's kind of out of the blue question. Yes, vitamin B12. You can get vitamin B12 shots. You go to the doctor and they give you a shot. It's like super high dose of vitamin B12 is supposed to help you lose a lot of weight. You want to know the best solution for losing weight? You know how people say, oh, losing weight's so hard. It's hard. It's not hard, dude. It's very easy to lose weight. It's a very simple math equation. That's it. It's you burn more calories than you take in. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's called the calorie deficit. If you're in the calorie surplus, that's how you gain weight. If you want to put on muscle, if you're working out, you have to eat more. So like people that are athletes, they don't diet and exercise. Athletes eat and train. See the difference? If you're dieting and exercising, you're trying to lose weight. You're trying to, because you're fat and you're losing weight. If you're an athlete, you eat and train because you have to eat a lot to get muscle and big, right? But it's a very simple formula. You just burn more calories than you take in. That's all you have to do. And if you can't do it and it's hard, that is because you don't have discipline. That's it. Right? That's all that is. You don't have discipline because guess what? If somebody put a fucking gun to your head and said, bitch, you fucking lose 30 pounds or you're dead in a month or whatever it was, like you would do it, right? It's like people like smoking, right? Like they can't quit smoking. It's not that you can't quit. You can quit. It's just that you don't have the discipline, right? Like maybe you could quit if you're trying to impress some guy. Then you would quit. Or maybe you would quit if you fucking got lung cancer, right? Then you would quit because you're going to die if you don't, right? You can quit. You can lose weight. You just have to have the discipline. Like discipline is different than motivation. Some people, they confuse the two. Discipline is much of a greater motivator, I guess. Not a motivator. It's better. It's better than motivation, right? Because any successful person, like you take a CEO, if he only did things when he was motivated to do them, do you think he would be the CEO of the company? No, dude. Like if I only worked hard when I was motivated to work hard, do you think I'd have a YouTube channel with 250,000 subscribers and 130 million views? No, I gained that because I was disciplined. See the difference? I had my wisdom teeth cut out because my jaw didn't have room. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I had my wisdom teeth taken out too. And I've actually heard this spiritual thing that you're not supposed to take out your teeth because there's some kind of spiritual thing. They don't want you to take them out. It's called why they call them wisdom teeth, and like it's a conspiracy and all that. But I had them taken out because mine were horizontal impact. At least the bottom ones were. The top ones were coming in, but they were like kind of crooked on the side, and there weren't enough room for them. But I had them taken out finally. And I'm glad too, because now that I'm getting my braces, it's better. So I could think my teeth can move around. I don't know if they do braces if I had wisdom teeth in. I will never do a root canal. You just get your tooth pulled. Is that what you do? Because I mean, you have to, if you're in the much pain as I was in, I paid so much money, dude, because I was about to go to jail too. It was right before jail. And like, I was calling the dentist, and like the earliest, it was the Comfort Dental scams because they're cheaper, you know? And they were like, oh, the earliest we can get you in is like 2 months. And I was like, 2 months? I was like, I was already on Percocet and shit, dude. That's how bad the pain was. It's like all I could think about was this pain. I was like, are you guys going to give me pain pills to get me through this shit? And they're like, oh, you come in for your consultation. We'll see. And then I started thinking, I was like, dude, I cannot fucking wait this long, dude. There's no way I can deal with this pain for that long. So I call this emergency dentist, dude. That's my new dentist that I was talking about. And I went in, I had to pay extra, but he did the root canal right then. And it was instant fucking pain relief, dude. I was like, oh, thank God, dude. I can finally like function, bro. There's no way. And then I would have had to been in jail with that pain. Oh, dude, fuck that. So, I mean, you could just pull the tooth, but I mean, that's another solution. Just pull it, but you probably want to try to save the tooth, right? Um, do you know how I would go about getting those vitamin B12 shots? I take vitamin B12, but I've never gotten shots. That must be a huge dose. Yeah, it is a huge dose. So you can take vitamin B12 daily. That helps too. But like, you just ask your doctor, your PC, your primary care. Just ask them. Say, hey, I heard that vitamin B12 shots help me lose weight. Can I get one? You know what else you could do? There's actually this thing that everyone's doing now. It's like the new fad. It's the shot that you take that it's made for diabetics, but they found out that one of the side effects is it makes you lose a shitload of weight because it like what it does is it makes you not hungry. But one of the side effects is you get really nauseous, but it usually wears away after a week or two, a couple weeks. But people lose weight and like all the like celebrities are doing it right now. But it's like I said, it's made for like diabetes people, like at least pre-diabetes or something like that. It helps with your blood sugar, but a side effect is it makes you not hungry, and so you lose a bunch of weight. So, but you can still get it. Your doctor can still prescribe it to you for specifically weight loss. You don't have to be diabetic, but it depends on your insurance. So, if you have regular insurance, well, actually, no, insurance. I don't know if insurance will cover it at all. Actually, if you are getting it for weight loss, you have to pay for it. It's kind of expensive. I don't know how much it is, but if you're like pre-diabetic or something, they can get it approved through your insurance for the actual, for diabetes or at least pre-diabetes to help your blood sugar. So that's the option that I would recommend, Caddy. But vitamin B12 is a good secondary one too. But these shots that you do, you have to give them to yourself. Like, so they send you home with the syringes and all that stuff, and then they're in the stomach too. They're like rabies shots. You shoot yourself up in the stomach with them. Ozempic, is that what it's called, Candace? Ozempic. I don't know what it's called. Too much B12 can make you go crazy. Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, too much syphilis can make you go crazy too. Too much anything can make you go crazy, dude. Everything in moderation. Sorry, I know I vape a lot when I'm on these streams, guys. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, celebrities all doing it. South Park even did an episode on it. Yeah, they are. They're all doing it. And actually, I heard that so many people were doing it for weight loss that they actually ran out for people that needed it for like diabetes and shit. They didn't have it. There was like a shortage of it. Oh yeah, I know you meant chickens, cocks, chickens. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Thanks for everyone for coming in. Give a quick shout out. King Chow Chow, thanks, bro. Sticking in with me the whole time too. Candace, you got some great addition to the conversation. Caddy, you also had some great addition to the conversation today. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see who else in here. You guys are like the main ones, the main three. There's a lot of people that were in here silent. Life Under the Microscope was in here for a little bit. Cue the Audit. So thanks, guys. Everyone have a great night. Peace.